Brianna Stewart of the New York Liberty, she takes a shot at A'ja Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces. She says she keeps receipts. She know what happens last year in the playoffs when they faced the Aces in the championship. But before we get off into today's podcast, tell a friend to tell a friend. Well, the New York Liberty and Brianna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu took down the Las Vegas Aces last night to knock them out of the playoffs, knocked off the two-time defending champions. And Brianna Stewart, she says she got all the receipts from last year. She got all of what everybody was saying on the Las Vegas Aces, including A'ja Wilson, that whole team, and Becky Hammon. They was poking fun at Brianna Stewart last year, and Brianna Stewart got all the receipts. Now, what happened last year in last year's playoff game in the championship, Brianna Stewart's father-in-law passed away. She's married to a young lady, and her father, the young lady's father, passed away. And, she said it was a stressful time. She was very emotional, and the Las Vegas Aces was taking digs and shots at her. And Brianna Stewart, she got the last laugh. After yesterday's game, she went to the post-game, press conference at the podium, and she fired shots back at A'ja Wilson and the whole Las Vegas Aces team and Becky Hammon. She says she got all the receipts, and if y'all guys date back to last year, the incidents and the things that was said about Brianna Stewart. What was going on. There's some bad blood between these two teams, between the New York Liberty and the Las Vegas Aces. And yesterday's game 4 and a must win for the Las Vegas Aces. The New York Liberty came out on top. We got to give a shout out to the New York Liberty. They stood on business, and they took down the defending champions. They took down A'ja Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces. And we saw what happened in Game 3 when the Las Vegas Aces stomped a mud hole in New York after New York went up 2-0. And the Aces, they staved off elimination. And, A'ja Wilson had a great game. Kelsey Plum had a great game. They was just on point. They had great games, but, the fact of the matter is the New York Liberty went on to win that game 76-62. Now, Brianna Stewart, man, she had herself an efficient game. She had 19 points, 14 rebounds, and she had 5 assists. She was 8 of 21 from the field, 1 of 4 from three-point line, 2 of 3 from the free throw line. And they came out on top. And she was very emotional when she went to the post-game press conference because all that stuff brought back memories from last year on everything that was said toward her from that Aces team. I didn't know it got that bad. I didn't know it was bad blood between, them players and between them two teams. But like I always say, what don't come out in the wash will come out in the rinse. And Brianna Stewart, man, she was standing on business, man. Now, she went to the post-game press conference, and the announcer was, the interview person was asking her some questions, and she said, she don't want this to be an emotional. But, she said some things, man. Let's take a listen to what Brianna Stewart said after yesterday's emotional win when they knocked off the two-time defending champion Las Vegas Aces. So let's take a listen to her press game post-conference.
More information on?
Yeah. It definitely was emotional, and I'll try not to get emotional. But Marta's my father-in-law, passed away last year, yesterday. So no matter what, it's a really tough time, and just the way that the series went last year, kind of going through all of that, and making sure that this year is different, and continuing to, Marta and I talk about doing everything that her dad would want us to do, and we continue to do that. And I have receipts on the things that were said that the entire team does, but for really my mentality today was to go in and get this win for my wife and her dad.
Now, you heard what Brianna Stewart said. She said she keeps receipts. I don't know what all the riff was. I don't know what was said about her. I don't know what was being said through her grieving time when her father-in-law passed away. But she said it's very emotional. She wanted to get the win for her father-in-law, which she did. I didn't, know about the receipts that she said she was keeping. Was she alleviated to it? You know what I'm saying? So it must have been some egregious stuff said toward, Brianna Stewart, through that, championship series that affected her play, and the Las Vegas Aces came out on top. Basically, she was saying, she was trying to get this win. She wanted to get this win and do it for her father-in-law, which she did. So I guess, her father-in-law is smiling down on her, proud of her, that she came through in the clutch and got a big win against the Las Vegas Aces. And, for the Las Vegas Aces, we've seen Becky Hammon sometimes at these post-game press conferences poking fun at certain individuals, you know what I'm saying? But when somebody's grieving like that and they lost a loved one, and you come out saying things which we don't know what was said, because she said she has the receipts. I'm waiting for them receipts to be posted to see what that all entailed, but it might have been some egregious things, because, the way she's explaining it, it's like it must have been bad, because she said going through a time like that, she heard everything that was said. So she wanted to come out and make it an emphasis to beat the Las Vegas Aces. And what fitting moment to beat the Las Vegas Aces on their home court, on the Las Vegas Aces home court, the two-time defending champions. And then also you have the league MVP in A'ja Wilson. So Brianna Stewart set out on a mission to beat the Las Vegas Aces, and she accomplished that. So whatever, was being said through the media, whatever was online, whatever was on social media that they were saying about Brianna Stewart, like I said, I wish she would post the receipts. If she kept the receipts, be like Deion Sanders. You got the receipts, but when Deion Sanders got the receipts, he talks about it. He don't, throw a rock and hide his hand. If somebody says something bad about him, Deion said, no, I got the receipts on you. I wish Brianna Stewart would have did the same thing, because I want to know what she's talking about. Because if you go back and look at last year's championship, Brianna Stewart didn't play her best ball. So evidently she was affected by something. We knew that last year that her father-in-law did pass away, because that was talked about, but she brought it back up. So it had to be centered around that situation. So, Brianna Stewart, we tip your cap to you. We tip our cap to the, New York Liberty for achieving, a goal that y'all set out, that y'all had y'all sights on, and y'all accomplished that. Now you got to go finish the fight. It will be real fitting if you go on and win this WNBA championship, then you really can stick it in the Las Vegas Aces faces. Saying, hey, I remember everything that was said, but we persevered. We came through it. Me personally, I persevered. My team, we pulled together. They rallied behind me in this situation, and we brought the WNBA championship to New York. So in this situation, I hope, everything's passed the two organizations. I hope it wasn't nothing egregious that the Las Vegas Aces said toward Brianna Stewart. But, the way she keeps saying, man, she got the receipts, man. Only time will tell. Only she know what was said. Only she know that, what she can digest on what happened. But she brought it back up in the post-game press conference. So evidently that bothered her for a whole year. And, bringing back that memory, that's why she said she didn't want to get emotional. She'll try not to be emotional. But you can hear it in her, her words, her voice kind of cracked a little bit. So I know it's a haunting memory, and it's still affecting her. But she played through it, got the job done. They beat the defending two-time champion Las Vegas Aces 76-72 in front of the Las Vegas Aces crowd. So you guys let me know what y'all think about today's podcast. And this is going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. We're going to catch you on the next one. Deuces. And I see everybody in the comments section. #salute. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button. Turn on your post notifications. Make sure you have them on so you know every time Simply Ball Dropping drops another hot banger. And if you want to become a member to the channel, hit the join button. And we're out of here. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
That's all, folks.